Instagram ads, without question, are the best, most effective way for you to increase your engagement with your target audience so you can get more likes, comments, shares, saves, all the engagement we seek, and all it requires is a little bit of budget. But you gotta do it right. Are you ready to start increasing your engagement on Instagram using ads? Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. If you're new to our channel, we are High Season, a social media agency that helps business owners, entrepreneurs, and marketers step their social media game up and break the algorithm. It is only me today because I have my computer all set up and ready to go for you because it's finally time we talk ads. I know. We took our time. I'm actually happy that we took the time we did because now we actually have a Facebook marketing expert on our team directly from Facebook who's helping us and guiding us with our ads. So that just means we actually have more information to share with you, which is super, super exciting. Now, you guys know we are very big fans of organic methods to increase your engagement on Instagram, bring new followers in, drive sales to your website. And you've also noticed that we're big fans of ads as well. We talk about it all the time in terms of ways that you can just blast past the algorithm and get right in front of your target audience by putting some budget behind what you're doing. So it's about time, with all that organic methods that we've broken down for you, to start looking at ads, considered a new level to the channel now. And if you like this type of stuff, you gotta let us know. So be sure to let us know in the comments below or by giving us a little thumbs up so that we can continue this content. By the end of this video, you are going to know exactly how, step by step, to create your first Instagram ad or to create a well-optimized Instagram ad from beginning to end. Let's get started. So let's talk about why you'd actually want to run an Instagram engagement ad anyway. It gets you in front of your target audience. It gets them to engage with your content. And our aim is that if we have people that we're bringing to our page and they're engaging with our content, they'll convert to a follower so that we can turn them into a buyer later. What's very convenient about this is that the algorithm doesn't really become so much of a factor in this. It's really reliant on how you target and the creative that you put out there. So what your ad looks like and who you've targeted to, and if it's well optimized enough to reach the intended audience so that they engage with it and continue to follow you and allow your ad to perform better. So this is going to be a purely tactical video. I'm going to take you step by step and actually share the screen with you with Ad Manager, the platform that we use to run Instagram ads. So you can either follow along with me and actually create your ad while I'm creating an ad, or I'm actually going to use like a dummy account or account we don't really use anymore. Or you can take notes, or you can just watch this in full and then come back later and then kind of stop where you need the little details. So let's get into Ad Manager. So here we are in Ad Manager. Actually, what I would like to say, there is an option that you guys have probably noticed, and this is something that's really, really important that I need to say. When you're on Instagram, you'll notice there's this little promote button there that allows you to boost a post within the app. This is not something I recommend for a few reasons. The features are not as comprehensive. They're not as detailed as they are when you go into the back end of the Ads Manager that I just pulled up for you there. This doesn't take your ads as far and doesn't get them the true potential that they could have because you're not really getting narrow and nitty gritty into the details of who you want to target. It's kind of more like a shouting and putting money behind it and seeing where it goes. And you'll see like it's a money grabber if you're not careful. That's why you'll often see posts where it's like, this post is performing 75% better than this other post, boost it, because it's such an easy way for people to just spend money. But you have to do it right. Go into the back end of Ads Manager and actually create an ad. Don't just try to boost it and just kind of throw money out there and see what happens. You really got to be intentional. Let's dive in. So you can see here we are in Facebook Ad Manager. It's an account that we don't really use anymore, which is why you don't really see much going on. Ad Manager you can actually get to by going to business.facebook.com/adsmanager. It's also available in your profile. So it's actually this is attached to your Facebook account. There's going to be two pieces of assumed knowledge that I'm doing here as well when it comes to Ad Manager. It's one, that you have an ad account. If you don't, it's super easy to create. You could just follow the steps to get that created. Another thing I also want to point out is that you should have your Instagram account attached to your Facebook page. So that's your Facebook business page has to be attached to your Instagram account in order to run ads in the way that we want. Back into Facebook Ad Manager, and you may be wondering, why am I in Facebook Ad Manager when this is an Instagram ad? It's because Facebook owns Instagram, and the actual Instagram ad platform is embedded into Facebook, because Facebook's the one that had all that data in the first place, right? So our first step is to go and create the ad. We're going to create a complete campaign. So you might notice that's a bit different for some people. So you guys actually might bypass this step, because I noticed in Craig's account, he has this step, but I don't in my account. So sometimes things are a little bit different, but either way, it's going to get us onto this page. As you can see here, we are now in the campaign, which is choose your objective. When you're thinking about what an ad objective is, it's what do you want to actually achieve with this campaign? They gave us a few options. And if you look here, it actually is similar to what a sales funnel is, right? So it's taking us through awareness, which is just introducing people to the brand. So these are objectives that generate interest in your product or service or brand, but they're not actually putting forth a direct action. You're not asking for something in particular. The next thing we're looking at is consideration. So consideration are objectives that get people to think about your business and seek more information about your business. That's why we're falling in this category here in engagement. We want people to consider interacting with us and hopefully following us. The next one is conversion. So that's moving people from that sales funnel, as you can see, into somebody who you've identified is interested in your product and is likely to buy. In this ad here, which you can see, it says get more post engagement, page likes, event responses, or offer claims. We are selecting engagement because our intention is to get people to like and comment and share and all that fun stuff. So for example, I'm going to call this campaign name YouTube Training Insta Engagement. And then we are going to hit continue. I also just want to note that anything that you see that I skip over during this tutorial is mainly because it's not relevant for the purposes of this ad right now or what we're trying to achieve here, but it could be something that we decide to tackle in the future if you guys like this type of content. So the first thing that we're going to be doing now is creating our ad set. So ad set name, the ad set is the actual people who you are targeting and how much you're going to spend to get them. So let's call this ad set name. I'm actually going to do this as an example of being a wedding photographer. I thought could be an interesting way to do it. So let's put in newly engaged women 19 plus, for example. The way you do your ad set is really going to be personalized to you. That just lets you track who the audience is. So if you come down to the audience here, you'll see it says create new audience or use saved audience, and there's a custom audiences feature. For the purpose of this video, where I'm going to assume that you guys haven't already dove in and created custom audiences and are looking at warm targeting, we're going to do create new audience. But when we talk about create new audience, that's more of a cold audience. That means that you're using location, demographics, and everything you know about your target persona in order to create this ad targeted to them. There is also the custom audiences, and the custom audience means that these are warm people. They either are on your email list, or they've visited your website, or they've previously engaged with your page, and you're likely trying to move them into the conversion side of your funnel. They're already familiar with you, so you're trying to bring them over to the next side. And then use saved audience is actually, you can save the audiences that you create, so you don't have to keep doing it every single time. So we're doing create new audience. As the wedding photographer, like I mentioned, who's looking at newly engaged women, I'm trying to track them and bring in and sell my services to them, but I'm going to just introduce myself to them first. Let them start seeing my content, hopefully engaging, getting into my page so they can see all my other beautiful photography that I have, and hopefully hire me. So we're going to go into locations. We say Canada. If we wanted to be more specific, we would go and say we are in Toronto, for example, and decide how far reaching we're willing to travel for a wedding. In age, we can decide ourselves what we feel that a person's age could be when they're getting married. This is completely up to you, but I could say 21, but really you can get married, I guess, at any time. And for this purpose, I'm going to attract women because maybe I feel that the woman is going to be the one that's going to hire the photographer. It could be the man or women. We're just using this for illustrative purposes. Then we're going to go into detailed targeting. Detailed targeting is where you can get really deep in here, guys, okay? That's like the terrifying, scary, amazing part of Facebook is how much information they have on people. So your detailed targeting should actually reflect your buyer persona fully. So it should be the person that you've always in your mind picture that you created your account for. We've talked about buyer personas very often. You're supposed to be targeting one person because if you appeal to everybody, you appeal to nobody. I'm going to choose people who match perhaps one of the obvious would be engaged. So most people might not know, but Facebook has a relationship status in there available to target towards. But I could go even deeper. Maybe I will say newly engaged. So maybe you're 3 months in, so you're freshly looking for a photographer, perhaps, depending on when you're deciding to get married. Even more so, I could actually go and look up friends of newly engaged people and get in front of them, because maybe they'll see me and refer me to a friend if my content gets in front of them. And when you're putting these detailed targeting in, this means that the people only need to meet one of these criteria. If you want to narrow down your audience, you can do that. We won't go too deep in because we're just trying to attract people right now and not narrow down too far, but we can go in a future video. You could actually narrow that down and say that they also must like a certain thing or must fit a certain criteria as well. And you're also able to exclude people. So that means you can narrow them down. When you narrow it down, it also reduces the daily results that you'll get and the amount of people that you reach, but it gets you even further granular and specific to the type of person you want. Like I could say they must be engaged and they also must be a lawyer, for example. But let's keep this open for now. The next thing that we're going to do once we've decided on our detailed targeting, you can go forever with this, or maybe someone who likes Essence magazine. Like there's so many ways you can build your archetype, and as you continue to add more details, the audience on the right hand side will expand accordingly. One thing I also want to call out here is the audience size. You want to make sure that is defined, okay? You don't want it to be too specific that it's so narrow you can't reach anybody, and you also don't want it to be so broad that it's just like you're shooting everywhere. So try your best to get it defined, which means you have a healthy set of people who will likely convert for you. Language I'm going to omit here, and connections, that's not really relevant for what we're doing. And as I mentioned, you could save this audience, so if you love the way this audience has performed for you, you can actually use them again for later. So once we've determined who we want to target, who is this newly engaged woman, oh my god, you know what I realized? I said 19 plus, so I might as well put 19, that's for consistency. So there she is, she's 19. Newly engaged, honestly, as well, 65, that's probably not. I was just trying to show you the steps, but newly engaged, actually, you can be engaged at any time, but let's just say 50, okay? No, actually, that's not fair. I'm going to say 65 plus. You can get engaged anytime. And then we're going to move, once we've decided who the audience is, we can choose to save it for later. And we're also going to choose our placements now. So we're specifically talking about Instagram here. So we're going to move down into placements. You see the platforms here. You're going to want to remove Facebook from here and leave Instagram feed and explore available for you so that the ads run in these two areas. Once we figured out where our ads are going to be placed, we're moving down to budget and schedule. So I want to talk about budget here because this is completely up to you. This is purely dependent on how much you want to spend, how much it's worth it to you to actually reach this audience. But one thing I will say is that through my talks with Facebook, $20 per day is a good ad spend. However, I have found success with $5 or $10 per day. I don't want to scare you away from just putting $5 a day. I still think you could see results with that. It's just obvious that the more you spend, the higher the results are going to be. Like if you look here, for example, actually, daily budget here at $11. You see the post engagement in the top right there is 81 to 233. If we were spending $20 a day, that number is going to shoot up. So the more you spend, obviously, the higher your estimated daily results are going to be. So if we wanted to keep this at something general and healthy and say I want to spend $10 on this, I have the option then to choose daily or choose a lifetime budget. Lifetime budget just means I'm going to set the dates and the algorithm will decide how much to spend evenly across the times that I choose. We're going to hit continue. And then that's going to take us to the actual ad. So actually creating the ad that everybody is going to see. So I'm going to call this ad Insta Post, and it's like YT Fam. You know, let's just go with it. And then the Facebook page, I'm going to do it from, they're asking is the identity. So I'm going to do it from High Season Co. Here, the Instagram account, that's why I said it's important that you have your Instagram account attached to your Facebook page so that way you can run it from your Instagram account. A pro tip here is if you actually want to increase the engagement behind the posts on your feed, you can just use an existing post. I could go here, choose this post, and run an ad on it. So that way the numbers, everything that you're seeing, all the comments, engagement is actually there on your feed. It's not an ad that's separately running. But you also do have the option to do that. That would be through creating the ad yourself. And when it comes to creating the ad, you're doing it in the same way you would create any post. You have to do it with your target audience in mind. You need to optimize your post itself. So make sure that you have a really great photo and a really great caption that makes people want to engage. That's very, very key here. So you can't just throw up any image and text and say like, hey, well, I'm putting money behind it, so people are going to engage with it. It still has to look good so that people want to actually interact with it. So if we're looking at the format here, for example, we would get the option to choose a single image or video. Then we could go down here and then we choose our media. So that's obviously the image or video that you have that you can add. I'm going to add an image from the account that already exists. There's me and Craig. Hey. So there you go. But you also have the option to upload directly from your computer. So there's Craig and I. That's the image we're going to use. Here is where I'd enter the text. Hey, YouTube. And then you do have the option as well to put a call to action, but remember that's not really the purpose of this ad. The purpose of this ad is to just get engagement on your post and hopefully drive them to your profile. So you'd more likely want to just put a call to action in your caption that's asking people to maybe engage or save or comment, things like that that encourage that engagement. And then there's your ad. Once your ad is there, you would just scroll on down, hit review, to make sure that you've done everything right. You have your draft campaign, you have the person that you're targeting, you have the ad that you have, and you would hit confirm. Once you hit confirm, your ad is sent to Facebook, and then Facebook will typically approve it within 24 hours. But generally, once you start using it a lot, you get approved within like hours, sometimes within 20 minutes. It starts moving faster the more that you use the platform. And then remember, guys, once you've actually created that ad and it's out there and running, you are not finished. Your step that comes after creating the ad is to continue to monitor it and optimize it. You want to continue to monitor and optimize the ad to make sure that it's performing well. So some things you want to look at is how many engagements you're getting from it, how much you're spending per cost per engagement. So are you spending $5 per engagement and you only have a budget of $10 per day? That wouldn't make sense. But perhaps something like 1 cent to 20 cents could make sense. If we take you back in here, I'm just going to hit confirm anyways. I'll just delete it after. That's how much I love you guys. I'm willing to put a random ad out there that would make no sense if I forgot to delete it, but I'll remember to delete it. So what I'm talking about is the cost per result here. So that's how much you spend to get the result that you desire. So that's something you want to be monitoring in addition to the engagements and reach and the amount that you're spending as well. All right, guys, that is it. That is how you create an Instagram engagement ad so that you can drive more comments, likes, shares, saves, all the things we want to your Instagram post. You can do this as often you like across as many posts as you want. It is definitely a surefire way to break past the algorithm and get in front of your target audience. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you learned a lot today. If you have any questions or comments about ads or you want to see follow-up videos because you like this type of video, be sure to comment below and let me know, okay? I'm also using a new software, so let me know what you thought about the software. Gets me jumping in and out, back and forth. Thank you guys so much. I hope you are out there and you're going to start killing it with these Instagram ads. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe below, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any other videos from us. You can follow us everywhere at High Season Co. on social media and check out our resources for free at highseasonco.com. We will see you in the next video, guys. Peace.